Hi, my name is Bob. My FIP topic is about the skull variation and the VMO-VL muscles. I found this topic is very interesting because during my IIL experience, I found that several therapists may like to use the squat with hip abduction to prescribe this exercise to the patellofemoral joint pain syndrome patients, the PFPS patients. Theoretically, this exercise can isolate the VMO and then reduce the malchecking of the patella and finally relieve the pain of the patients. However, as a student as me, you may have the same question that whether just adding the hip extension can really isolate the VMO. So I conducted this study to ask to respond to this question. Um, First of all, the objective of this study is help to gather and analyze the EMG studies that's focused on squat and the VMO-VL activation or the VMO-VL ratio. And second, conclude the influence of the selected muscles activation and ratio during the various squats. And finally, how to provide a new insight into exercise selection for the PFPS rehabilitation. And this study is conducted through the electronic database search and then by inputting several key terms. And then use a manual sorting according to the predefined criteria and finally sort out the related studies. And then finally, all the score variation will be ranked according to the percentage MVIC, which can objectively show how hard is the muscle is working during the exercise. And the data space search actually identified around 1,300 studies, and 20 studies are remaining for further process according to the predefined criteria. And the left the bar charts can show the results logically from the lowest muscle activation or the VMO-VL ratio to the highest muscle activation and the VMO-VL ratio. And this is just part of the data. And all in all, there are 19 studies with 37 variation are identified that are talking about a VMO-VL percentage MVIC, and 7 studies with 25 variations have identified the VMO-VL ratio. And all in all the exercises can be shown that each can influence the muscle activations and the ratio. And among all the squat variation with the loading effect, actually the bell squat and the back squat has the highest VL activation and the VMO activation respectively. And in terms of the squat without any loading, such as the wall squat with isometric hip abduction in 45-degree knee flexion angle, achieved the highest VMO activation. And finally, the wall squat exercises achieved the greatest VMO-VL ratio. All in all, this study can find that actually the back squat may be the most effective exercises for the VMO isolation and the PFPS rehabilitation. Meanwhile, the knee top external loading, optimal squat depth, and the valgus knee position may be the critical factors that can achieve a higher VMO activation. And at the same time, this literature will feel or can also slightly explain why the wall squat can achieve the highest VMO-VL ratio. It's because the erect trunk position can highly increase the knee top and finally produce a very superior effect on the VMO-VL ratio in wall squat. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.